The Hitscan nerf patch is now live. This means things could change in the way Overwatch is played, especially for Hitscan heroes. However, there is one hero, it's Widowmaker. Just don't get dived by Doomfist. Come on. I was trying to go for the 360, like, you know, well, I was going to say no-scope. It's not a no-scope. 360 grappling hook shot, but whatever. Also, by the way, it's been ages since I've played Widow, and this was quite an enjoyable game. Anyway, Widow has been buffed. All the other Hitscans have been kind of nerfed, although Soldier's also been absolutely hugely buffed with his ultimate. And Diva gets nerfed because of Echo, but Echo, I think, is actually going to be quite good. And the same goes for Pharah, and by extension, the same goes for Mercy in the Pharmacy combo or the Mercy Echo combo, because you are going to be very hard to kill now, unless the enemy has got a Widowmaker, or they've got a Soldier with his ultimate and he's just going to kill you, or the Soldier just lands a bunch of headshots on you and you die. Same kind of goes for a McCree or for a Ashe, but it's still going to be difficult to do. Anyway, let's get into the meat of this update. So if you guys watched the... by the way, beautiful shot. If you watched the recent video on the... I always want to say PTR. It's not the PTR. It's the experimental card. It's pretty much all of those changes are now on live, so we're going to have to wait and see how they kind of impact the game. But what we've got is hit scan damage now scales at 30% maximum fall-off range down from 50. So this means you've got 20% maximum, or 20% less maximum fall-off range, if that makes sense. It's a little bit difficult to understand, but basically, this change, according to the developers, may be difficult to notice immediately as it scales damage over a range slightly more than before, but it will lower the impact of hit scan damage outside of their intended optimal ranges. Now, what this means is if you've got a damage boosted Ashe, for example, it is going to be much harder for that to kill you from across the map, because its fall-off range is now more severe in a way, or its fall-off range is still the same, but the damage fall-off within the fall-off range is more severe, so it's doing less damage. So this means Ashe sitting there damage boosted by Mercy is not going to be anywhere near as powerful as it used to be, and that pretty much was the go-to sort of hit scan setup. Or you maybe would damage boost the McCree. Yes, sure, you could damage boost the Soldier as well, but you would see Ashe and McCree over the Soldier. So yeah, all of the heroes with hit scan weapons are affected. So Ashe, Batiste, Bastion, McCree, Soldier, Widowmaker, and Wrecking Ball, all of those have now got less damage after their maximum fall-off range. So hit scan damage now scales to 30% of maximum fall-off range down from 50. So it's less damage over long range, right? Makes sense. It's a little bit difficult to get your head around it. Took me a few reads of it to get my head around it. But basically, as I said, you're going to be doing less damage after your fall-off range, if that makes sense. So Bastion also gets changed. Configuration Recon, the weapon spread is reduced from 1.5 to 1.2. Dev comments here are making Bastion's Configuration Recon weapon more reliable to help strengthen his run-and-gun gameplay. Fair enough. I don't think it's going to change much for Bastion. He's still highly immobile in a game that's built on mobility, so he's always going to suffer. Unless you're using him in kind of cheese comps and all of that stuff, you know, he's got his place in the game, but it is difficult to get value if the enemy team play around the Bastion. It's always been that way. Now, next up, we get the Diva Change. Now, the Diva one is... It's not for Diva, it's for Echo. There is a little bit of a nerf as well, directly to Diva, but it's all a nerf directly to Diva, but it affects Echo a lot more. So, Cool Mech, damage area reduced from 3 to 2.5 meters, so it's not as big. That's a nice change. No longer builds ultimate charge while using self-destruct until after her mech detonates. The dev comments here are, no longer build an ultimate charge in the window of time between using self-destruct and when it detonates is targeted at Echo's duplicate ability when copying Diva. Echo's accelerated ultimate charge enables her to have Cool Mech available before the self-destruct explosion went off, making it very difficult for enemies to find a safe place to hide. Yeah, so it's a nerf to Echo, but you know what? Echo has got a massive buff in this patch. Just like Pharah, just like Mercy. If you're an airborne hero, you're going to be able to get a hell of a lot more done now, simply because the hit scan won't be able to do as much damage to you unless you're standing on top of them. You can spam away at range. You're not going to get picked off by that damage boosted Ashe as easily as before. Same for the Soldier, same for the McCree. The outlier in that is the Widow. If the Widow lands the headshot, then you are dead, right? Because Widow has still got that capability. And when we get onto the Widow changes in a second, you'll see how they've actually given Widow arguably more of that capability. So, Soldier 76, I think as we're about to swap to the Soldier 76 gameplay, at least I believe that's how I did this. Yes, it kind of is, I think. Maybe I haven't done it. I'm sure I have. Where is this? Where is it? There it is. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Yep. What? There it is. Okay. So, yeah, Soldier 76. I think we open with killing a bit of Mercy because, well, I mean, we love a bit of that. Anyway, Soldier is the ultimate damage fall off is disabled while tactical visor is active. That is massive. So damage fall off is disabled when tactical visor is active. So it means they're always in the optimal range for soldier when you're using your ulti. It doesn't matter where they are on the map. That's pretty nice, right? So you don't have the damage fall off when tactical visor is active. So the dev comments are, this will make tactical visor effective for more than just the aim assist, which slightly loses some value as player aim improves. But what this does mean, like I said, look at me here, you can just pop this and you know you're going to get them and do beautiful damage to them. Now, it's not headshot damage, it isn't crit box damage, but it is optimal soldier damage regardless of the range, and that is very nice. So we might see soldier coming back into the meta, but remember, like I said, Pharah is still going to be quite strong, Echo is still going to be quite strong, and I see a world where those two heroes are going to be, I don't want to say dominant, but they've got a lot more power potential now, especially if they've got a Mercy backing them up. They're going to be able to do a lot of work, and it's going to be harder for enemy teams to take them out. Now, Widowmaker, this is the one we need to talk about. I guess I should have talked about this while I had the Widowmaker gameplay up, but whatever. So, Widow's Kiss, which is a weapon, damage fall-off range increased from 60 to 85 meters to 70 to 100 meters. So what they've done is increase the damage fall-off range there, which means that, well, it means this. We're adjusting Widowmaker's optimal range to be slightly further out to account for some map locations where counter-sniping was common, but just barely outside of the effective range with damage fall-off. For Widowmaker, the sniping damage fall-off is mainly in place to restrict the lethality of mid-air grapple shots at the extreme distances possible on some maps. So what this means is, Widow, as their devs are kind of saying there are points in certain maps where you want to take a sniper duel, and you kind of couldn't do it. It didn't feel satisfying. Now you can, because you've got this increase from 60 to 85 to 70 and 100 meters before damage fall-off. So it's pretty big. Now, in this world of nerfed hit scans across the board, but Widow could start seeing a comeback as a direct counter to the Pharmacy, to the Echo. So we might be seeing a bunch of Widow. And of course, if that happens, then it means, hey, like we just seen in the gameplay footage before the soldier section in this video, that Doomfist might start getting a bit more playtime. Because Doomfist, pretty good at killing Widow when he gets nearer. Obviously, yeah, Widow could land a headshot. If I was actually good, I would just headshot him as he comes in. You can kill him at range, sure, but that's when you've got the advantage. Also, it might mean Tracer gets more playtime. You know, Genji maybe gets more playtime because he's trying to counter the Widow play. So this will change the way the game is played. And there are a lot of advantages here because Hitscan is powerful in Overwatch. Let's not beat around the bush here. It is powerful. It has been the most powerful damage roll in the game. And you could say that when projectile becomes powerful, the game is more interesting to play, or at least more interesting to view from a pro level. It's always going to be this conspiracy theorist stuff of like, are they just doing this for Overwatch League? Like, why make these changes? Now, in terms of whether you feel these changes in the game, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really feel them too much playing in these quick play matches you guys seen. Widow still felt like Widow to me, and the damage, the range is just like, whatever. You land in the headshot, she's still going to put the damage in. Soldier, his tac visor, it did feel notably better. His damage fall off, honestly, I didn't really feel it too much, but again, maybe that's just because I'm taking... You see, like there, I did enough damage to that McCree there, to be honest. I mean, did I really need extra damage at that range? Did I feel like I was losing any? I don't think so. Maybe he was just inside my soldier's optimum range. You know, you don't know. Maybe Busan isn't the best map to show it. Maybe something like Junkertown First Point is a better map to show it on. But I didn't really feel it too much. And the devs did sort of allude to that and say, hey, you might not feel this change a lot or at that much until you get used to playing with it. But reducing hit scan prominence in the game means you get... There's more... I guess there's more scope for plays, and it will bring back certain heroes. As I said, your Genjis, your Tracers, your Doomfist will be more effective. I mean, Doomfist is an interesting one because a lot of people go out there and say Doomfist is broken and he's totally OP. No, guys, Doomfist right now is very easy to deal with. Yeah, he can be frustrating to play against. I think it's often because when Doomfist catches you in his combo, you feel a bit helpless and then you just die. It's like, well that wasn't great. So there are all those kind of things going on with Doomfist, but he's not in the best place. But if we see more Widow, maybe we see more Doomfist. If we see more Pharah, maybe we see more Widow. If we see more Echo, maybe we see more Widow. Maybe we see, you know, we still probably will see Ashe, but maybe we'll see a bit more Soldier. Because one thing about Tac Visor now is it is incredibly good at dealing with Pharah and Mercy, especially if Mercy pops her ulti. It was already good at that, but it will deal with them. Now, of course, McCree is also good at doing that. Like, his Deadeye is still going to shut both of them down when they're in the air. So it's always going to be the back and forth between McCree, Soldier, Ashe. Who do you want to pick? The outlier being Widow, because if you can land the shots, Widow is still going to be very effective. Now, Where do I think this is going to go long term? I think it's okay for the game. I think this is a change that is going to make the game less, well, Hitscan dependent. See, it's a difficult one for me, this is, because I like Hitscan. Soldier, as you guys know, is probably my favorite DPS hero to play. Like, I really enjoy playing Soldier. I enjoy playing other heroes as well. I like playing Echo. But I think it's going to sort of reduce the... it's a weird one in some ways, because we know the Overwatch devs, or at least when Jeff was in charge, wanted to reduce the... I don't want to say the MOBA elements, but they wanted more FPS gameplay in the game. So that would mean, well, surely they want to Hitscan stronger. But this is also... This kind of feels like a change where, not like they're going back on that philosophy, but a change where they're saying, hey, we want the Hitscans to be strong in their intended range. We don't want them dominating the map from everywhere. We especially don't want them with damage boost from Mercy just killing everyone. We've all been there on Havana with Ashe just absolutely farming everyone on the first point. We do it with Widow as well, but Ashe, a little bit more dynamic, definitely a better ultimate. So there's all these things you have to think about when they're all sort of piled together with the way these changes are going to affect the game. Anyway, I think that about does it, guys, for this video. I wanted to do a little bit more of an in-depth look at this patch, because I was going to make a little short video, like a 60-second rundown on the patch, but I thought, no, this one actually does benefit from a bit of discussion. And I think that's the way I'm going to go moving forward. Like, Overwatch is end of life. We always keep talking about this. It very much is. Still an enjoyable game to play. We know Overwatch 2 is coming. When it's coming, we don't bloody know. Hopefully, we get information on that fairly soon. As far as patch notes coverage goes, when it's stuff which isn't really very interesting, like imagine if it's, well, we've changed Sigma's, I don't know, barrier health. I mean, that is just like, great, whatever. It doesn't really change too much. But this will change a lot because it's a whole-scale nerf to the way Hitscan functions in the game. And it is the biggest nerf to Hitscan as a group that we've ever seen in Overwatch. And it's very much a statement of, you know what, we're trying to address the way Hitscan is dominant, and we're going to make projectile heroes dominant. Now, the worry is Echo becomes absolutely amazing, because when you look at Pharah versus Echo, generally Echo does have the upper hand in that scenario, especially in a direct 1v1, or even a Mercy Pharah versus a Mercy Echo, but even just probably in general play. And maybe you can put that down to the whole, it's a newer hero. Well, it's the latest hero in Overwatch, even though it came out 2020, but it is more modern, right? So it's probably, I think I get shattered here, which is kind of bad. It's more modern, so it's probably going to get selected more. It's got a better tool set available to it and all of that jazz. But I'm going to leave this video at that, guys. It's kind of a bit annoying because I guess you guys want to watch the end of this. You know what? Let's watch the end of this game together. Whatever. I'm not ending it while we're just getting pretty close to the end of this match. We may as well watch it through. But yeah, I don't know. I want you guys to let me know actually what you think about the recent stuff I've been doing on the channel. As YouTubers, we tend to look at our stats quite a lot, and yes, you know, things are a little bit stale with Overwatch right now. I know a lot of you guys are enjoying the shorts that I'm making, and those actually are kind of interesting to make because they do take a lot of time to sort of pack those together with like tons of information, and I am enjoying doing them. I'm also putting them on TikTok, so for whatever reason you want to go over onto TikTok and check them out, then please do that. But yeah, Overwatch content on the whole, I will keep doing Overanalyzed. I will keep making Guess the Rank and stuff like that, but don't expect them every day. I will make them when I can, and I will definitely cover Overwatch when it has got some juicy news coming out, or it's maybe something worth talking about. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.